Capricorn. October is a day when opposites seem to meet. On one side, there is the fatigue of waiting, the sense that you've been holding on too long and carrying too much. On the other, there is a subtle, almost imperceptible call. You are close. Do not give up. You are accustomed to being strong and dependable, the one who can endure, solve, and stay composed. That path is familiar. Yet on 11 October, the universe seems to ask you to pause, breathe, feel, and live, to ease the need to prove or struggle, and to allow yourself to simply be human. This day is not about activity but about depth, inner work, and an honest acknowledgement. Yes, it's not easy. Yes, you need support. Yes, you also have the right not to manage everything at once. In this honesty lies your real power, because to admit what is true is to stop pretending. As a Capricorn, you often move through life with the feeling that everything depends on you, and that if you loosen your grip, things will fall apart. But on 11 October you can discover something surprising. Even if you relax a little, the world will not crumble. If anything, it gets gentler, more forgiving, and more alive. If you are tired, give yourself real rest, without guilt, and without the mental to-do list. This day seems designed to let you linger in the present moment, to look out the window, to listen inward, to sense what you want not by plan, but by soul. In relationships, this day may bring revelation. You may suddenly feel especially close to someone, and with someone else notice how the distance has quietly grown. It is not about blame or conflict. Souls sometimes travel on different roads. 11 October grants the wisdom not to cling to what is leaving and not to push away what is arriving. If you are single, you may sense that you are not entirely alone, as if someone is thinking of you, remembering you, caring about you. Perhaps this person belongs to your past, or perhaps your future, but the inner connection is already alive. Do not shut it down. Let yourself feel it. Sometimes you walk for so long you forget you can stop, not because you are exhausted, but because you have reached a threshold. 11 October can bring exactly that realization. You may feel that you haven't done anything especially grand in recent days, and yet inside something essential has settled. The noise lowers, calm takes root, and suddenly you are no longer performing or proving. You simply are. You know how to wait, endure, and hold steady. But today asks something different. Learn to hear yourself in the pauses, in the invisible spaces, in those moments where you used to distract yourself. On 11 October you can, perhaps for the first time in a long while, allow inner quiet, without rushing, without the compulsion to meet every expectation. Feelings usually kept deep may surface, a light sadness, a memory, a tender longing. Do not fear this. It is not weakness, it is contact with your true self. You may finally see where you have grown too rigid, what is ready to be let go, and where you are still holding someone else's guilt, instead of living your own life. Many Capricorns will feel the importance of what cannot be seen. Conversations between the lines, the meaning in glances, the eloquence of silence, subtle signs. You may remember someone with whom quiet once felt especially real, or someone may reach out or give a small sign. This becomes more than a moment of contact, it is a point of inner agreement, a recognition that none of it was in vain. Your heart grows softer today, and there is no need to fear that softness. It does not make you weak, it makes you alive. Beneath the armor you've worn for years lives a sensitive, perceptive human being who can love deeply and who longs to be needed not for results or achievements, but for presence, for being, breathing, listening, feeling, and truly being there. 11 October can reveal how much you have already done for others, how often you have forgotten yourself, and how it is time to return to yourself, gently and steadily. This does not mean withdrawing from loved ones. It means choosing not to disappear in their needs or dissolve into their desires, but to stand beside them honestly, without losing yourself. You may encounter a curious inner state, as if you stand at a crossroads. Outwardly, little is changing, yet your soul senses that the old paths no longer call, and the new ones are not yet open. That can be unsettling. But it is also the Capricorn path. You are not afraid of the space in between, for it is from that very space that what is real is born. Today the universe seems to ask you, if fear were not a factor, what would you choose? If you trusted you would be understood, what would you say? If you knew success was possible, where would you go? The answers are not only the keys to 11 October, they are keys to your destiny. Capricorn, patience is one of your gifts, and sometimes you carry it too far. On 11 October, patience shifts from virtue to pause, a necessary stillness in which to ask, what am I actually holding on to? Not because you are weak, but because the strong also have the right to set down what has lost its meaning. Not all stability is a blessing. Sometimes you keep something not for its value but for fear of living without it. 11 October offers a rare courage to examine your attachments, the relationships you keep saving though they have ceased to move, the goals that no longer call yet feel familiar, the promises to yourself that have turned into anchors. This is a day to forgive yourself for missteps and softness, for not always matching the ideal you tried so hard to become. You are human, and you are human even when you played the role of a stone. You can remove the armor and feel. You will not fall apart. The world will not disappear. Your heart will begin to breathe more freely. If there is someone with whom you feel genuine closeness, even in silence, do not miss the chance to be near. The day itself seems to whisper, say what has remained unsaid. Hear what you have long hidden behind busyness. Share a little, open a little, because in such moments real warmth is born, and you need that warmth as much as anyone. And if you are on your own right now, this is not punishment and not emptiness. It is space. Space to return to yourself without other people's voices or expectations. There you can listen for your true desires, perhaps the simplest ones, to rest in quiet, to get away, to paint, to sleep deeply, to smooth someone's hair, to feel a hand in yours, or simply to be understood without having to explain. If 11 October raises waves within, do not mute them. It is not a storm, it is release. Your soul is shedding old layers. You are waking up not for anyone else but for yourself, to feel again, to dream again, to live again rather than merely perform. Today you may crave solitude not from the world but from noise, pretense, and the need to perform a role. If possible, give that to yourself. Go where nothing must be proven, where breath is easy, where you are simply you. Even an evening spent alone can be turning. 11 October brings understanding that you can move forward differently, less rigid, more gentle, not only by plan but by calling, not to earn worth, but to feel what is already true. Life is not held in accomplishments alone, but in the warm glances, the feelings, the moments that stay in the heart when everything else has faded. At times it seems the whole world rests on your shoulders, and that if you let go, everything will scatter, that no one else can manage it and only you know how. But 11 October is a day to release, not all at once, but at least the burden you have outgrown. Today you do not have to be strong, exemplary, or the one who drags the load. You have the right to exist without a role, without justification, without that tightness in your chest. The more honestly you admit this, the freer your breath becomes, because beneath all your sternness lives a real heart, one that deserves quiet, understanding, and kindness. You may feel the urge to think of those you have not seen for a long time, where something remained, unfinished, not to restart anything, but to thank, to forgive, and to move onward without the weight, without the expectation of an answer, carrying only a gentle warmth within. And it could happen that today you receive a small yet meaningful word, hint, sign, or spark. Do not dismiss it. It may be encouragement, confirmation, a nudge that you are on the right path. The universe always whispers, perhaps now you are ready to hear, because you have softened, allowed vulnerability, and chosen to be alive. That is the highest expression of strength, the kind that does not break but heals. May 11 October bring you not dramatic answers but a deep calm, not outer upheaval but inner readiness, not spectacle but clarity. In clarity, the things that truly change a life are born. You will manage what comes, only now not because you must, but because you want to, because you have chosen yourself.